Go ahead, Gallup.
Dub, what'd you feel out there just in terms of the intentionality on every possession? It just seemed like there was great, attention to detail and focus out there.
That was exactly it. Just coming out with a level of focus for the whole entire game. Playing through some of their runs, and just our attention to detail is very good. And we try to carry that over. Learn the lesson that we had from the first game, and that's it. That's all I got.
Jalen, obviously,
go ahead, Joel. That's fine.
Obviously, these series can be emotional roller coasters. Marcus talked long about managing the emotional gaps in between games. I guess for you individually, how did you diagnose your game one, and what did it take for you to sort of reel yourself back?
I thought I had good intentions and I was really aggressive. Didn't shoot it the way I wanted to, but that's just how life is. But there won't be games where I look back and I wasn't aggressive, so that's been my mindset the whole entire time, regardless of the outcome, and that I can live with whatever results are.
Isaiah, I don't know if you remember this, but in December, when you guys played the Rockets in Vegas, guys were just saying that Mark showed you guys the film of the sort of scuffle at the end of the game with Kaysen and Sengun. Do you remember that?
I think so, yeah.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just guys were talking about that, him wanting to push that message of not being a team that could be pushed around. I know you were talking a lot about that. How do you feel like you guys have preserved that message throughout the year, and do you feel like that's sort of what you saw in the first quarter?
I think we've always had it throughout the year. I think we're a team that never backs down, and I think we're always there for each other. So I think since day one we've always had that mentality, and yeah, I don't think it's changed now.
For both you guys, Shea he was plus 51. It's the best plus minus in a playoff game since that stat's been a thing. What stood out to you about his performance?
He was Shea.
Great answer. Yeah.
To keep it 100 with you, yeah. I don't understand how the plus and minus stuff works. They
have a scoreboard.
No, I get that part, but it's like to me, I don't want to say it's one of those like useless stats, but like I feel like there's games I've been negative and I've had some of like my best games and we've won games, so I don't really pay attention to that too much. But trying to like broaden the scope, like he was just aggressive, picked his spots well, got other guys involved. Like just did a lot of like little stuff. Obviously he's playing defense too, so when you like group all that in together, that's probably why he was plus 51. And I feel like there's a lot of other factors that go into that too, but he's just doing stuff the right way and trusting us to make plays too.
Jenny here.
Damn, plus 51 is kind of OD.
That's crazy.
Are we even up 50 though?
Jay Will's the first guy off the bench tonight. Obviously, then you guys rotated in bigs pretty consistently with Jokic. Yeah. How did that affect your strategy? I'll start there, Isaiah. Just what did that look like from your perspective, using all three of you like you did tonight?
He was big tonight. I think him coming in, setting that energy, setting that tone, I think was amazing for us, especially maybe not playing that much in a series before to come in to play such a big game for us, I think was huge. Him staying ready, him mentally staying ready was big, and he did a lot of great stuff for us tonight.
Jalen, what impressed you most about what Jay Will did tonight?
Yeah, just staying ready. It's hard to maybe play 3 minutes one game and then, be the first person off the bench and have to guard Jokic. So it's like, it's a very hard thing to do, and you have to take your hat off to him for being ready and staying involved in the game. And he's been doing that all year. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody sees it, but like the way that he supports us, playing, not playing, he just does a great job with it, and I think that keeps him engaged in the game too.
Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Isaiah, crazy 3 days in the NBA. Home teams haven't been winning since Saturday, really. How desperate were you guys tonight to make sure the same fate didn't befall you?
I think we did a good job of just resetting. I think we also didn't want to come in and change our mentality too much. I think that's how you approach a playoff series in general. At the end of the day, the reality was we lost one game, and so we wanted to come in, play how we always play, be a little bit more focused on the details. But I don't think we kind of came in and tried to change our mentality. I think that's the biggest thing with the playoffs. Like, even next game, we're not going to change how we approach the game. And we're just got to come out and just try to execute, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Shea before the postseason talked about how the playoffs for him aren't any pressurized situations because he tries to take the emotions out of the game. And he also, when he was in here, talked about how you guys came into this game desperate. With him being leader of the team and having that mentality of these aren't pressure situations, how does he impress that on you guys, and what does that do for you guys?
Yeah, just the position he's in, it definitely leaves like an imprint. And when you see how desperate he is to win the game, like, it almost like drags you along with it. And we have a team full of guys that play that way anyway. Tonight was no different. I think even first game, like, I think that's just how it's kind of like our DNA. I think that's what makes us stand out. But tonight was probably just a little more, back against the wall. You're just kind of bound to play that way. And, like you said, Shea being the leader of the team, it's just one of those things that, like, when he's like that, which he always is, it kind of, like, affects the whole team.
Wanted to ask you guys both about the young guys getting some run tonight, specifically Mitchell and Jones. Obviously, they're early in their careers. Everything's being thrown at them, but what have you seen from them?
I think they've been great all year. I think they've been doing a good job just staying ready. And I think that's the hardest thing, especially when you're not always playing time is inconsistent. So I think they've been doing a great job just staying ready, being mature with the process, and also you have to give a lot of respect to the coaching staff, making sure putting them in positions to, when they get the chance that they got tonight, to make the most of it.
I think as like one of the leaders on the team, it's just I always try and like keep that in the back of my mind that like some guys aren't playing and they're still here every day, and I try and take my hat off to the guys that do like our high intensity every day and are in there ready for these moments. And you never know when your number's going to get picked, and I've been heavy on telling them that. You never know what the playoffs, like injuries, God forbid, or kind of like anything. You never know like when your number's going to be called, and Mark is not afraid to put people in. So definitely hats off to them, especially AJ just coming back with like he had a long injury, and then now his first games back are in the playoffs. So. Just staying ready, and there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that they do day in and day out that they're really good at.
Isaiah, I think you checked out after only like 4 minutes. Ball swings to Jay Will a few possessions later on the wing, and I don't know if you even realize this, but you're up off the bench, saying that thing's going in before he's even taken it. Coming in, your reputation was like ultimate teammate. What are those moments like for you?
It's great. I think the thing with our team, it's not fake. Like, it's genuine. We're not doing it to make the media think that we're all team players. We really want each other to succeed. And so I think just kind of giving back to what he's been giving to us all season, I think it's the least we can do. But again, it's all genuine. I want him to succeed the same way he wants me to succeed. And so, yeah.
Deb, with some superstars, they're relatively hard to play with. Shea's not one of those guys, obviously. But I just wanted to ask, what is it about his game and your game that allows it to be so cohesive? Because it doesn't feel like you guys are taking turns out there. It feels very natural.
From my viewpoint, if he calls for the ball, you usually just throw it to him. And that works out pretty well. He's just unselfish. Like, he trusts us to make plays, and that just comes with, like, time, and this is my third year playing with him, so it's just one of those things with like trust, and it grows. And I think he understands that in order for us to be successful, like he has to kind of trust us the way we trust him, and he's done a great job of it. So it makes it really easy to play confident and play off of him. But heavy on the first part, like usually throw him the ball, move to an open spot, and let him do his thing.
Isaiah, obviously, the way you guys manage your physicality with Jokic is one of the subplots people are watching for in this series. Did you sense a change in sort of the way he was being managed by the officials and sort of the physicality you guys were allowed to dish out to him?
I think the main thing with us this game, we were more disciplined. I think we followed the game plan a lot better than maybe the first game. I mean, with the reps, you just kind of have to see how the game is called each game, and you have to adjust to it. We never want to be controlled by the refs. So I think that's the biggest thing. You just kind of have to adjust to how the game is being called and just kind of go from there.
Did you guys notice a change in the crowd from game 1 to game 2? And if so, what was the biggest difference?
That was probably the loudest that I've heard, Paycom. I can't lie. Today was very loud.
And then how do you guys feel about booing Russ? I don't know if anyone's asked that question yet, but how do you feel about the crowd booing Russell Westbrook after you get the corner 3?
I didn't hear it. You heard it?
I don't know. I mean, he got a standing ovation the game before, so I don't think it matters too much. Obviously, he's a legend here, so I think the crowd is just trying not to, like, it's probably hard to, like, not cheer for him. I mean, he did a lot here, so I'm sure he had fun with that, but I don't think it's any, like, real ill will towards it. I think, obviously, we all know what he means to the organization here, but I actually didn't even really pick up on the boos for real.
Mike, you got the last one?
Yeah, Chet was just talking about Kenrich and kind of how he was kind of helping him the last couple days, you know, after missing the 2 free throws and kind of trying to give him some perspective. Is that something that you see Kenrich doing throughout the season for everybody? Is that kind of his
Kenny.
role in the locker room?
Yeah, big unk. Yeah, he's good. Gives good life advice too. But just one of like the older guys on the team that. This can sound funny, but like he got kids, wife. You know what I mean? Like he's got the whole thing kind of mapped out. So he's been through a lot of experiences and just like his upbringing. So he does a good job of helping us be where our feet are at, and he really helped me my second year, just being somebody to talk to, and kind of he's good at like keeping perspective on what's going on throughout the NBA, and just a vet's a vet. He's very good for us.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.